So hello, I'm Julia Hanmer. I'm BSBI's Chief Executive, and it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight to give you an update on BSBI's recent work and future plans. So it's going to be a whistle-stop tour. There's so much that you, our members, do, and I can't cover all of it, but thank you so much for all that you help us to achieve. I want to put this update in the context of our overall strategic plan. This started in April 2021, the same time as I joined as BSBI's Chief Executive, and we're now halfway through our 3-year plan. And the plan sets out our vision and purpose and what we're trying to achieve. And it has 3 goals and some foundations, and I'm going to give you updates against these, starting with goal 1, which is to build a diverse community of botanists to sustain and develop the skill base. And absolutely fundamental to supporting the botanical community is training at all levels. And recently, we've been working very closely with Brenda Harold, who developed the identplant course. This is a very popular plant identification course for beginners in serious botany, with modules and practical work throughout the field season. And I can testify to how brilliant this course is because I've done it this season. And I'm very proud that I've just recently got my certificate of completion for identplant. Participants often go on to become long-standing botanists. So we're very delighted that BSBI will be directly running identplant now with the aim of gradually expanding provision, both in terms of the numbers of people that can take part in it and in terms of the geography as well. So huge thanks to Brenda and the identplant management team for working with us on this transition and continuing to work with us going forward on identplant. And also many thanks for all the tutors. If you're interested in becoming an identplant tutor, please do get in touch. Another area we've been working to support and get more closely involved in is botanical skills assessments. And we've been working closely with Sarah Wild and Sue Dancy, the founders of the Field Identification Skills Certificate, or FISC. So from 2023, BSBI is going to be undertaking the central coordination and QA of FISC. And we aim to grow FISC provision by training and supporting up new assessors and providers. It will take time, but we're heading in the right direction because we've got lots of interest. And many thanks to Sarah Wild and Sue Dancy and all those who've been involved in FISC over the years. Sarah and Sue are continuing to support us in this work going forward. At BSBI are recruiting a training coordinator who's going to be supporting our coordination of FISC and identplant, and they'll be starting in January in that new role. Another key area in building the botanical community is having the right staff in place to support that community. And country officers are completely crucial here. And we're very fortunate that we've got Jim McIntosh in Scotland, Paul Green in Ireland, and Pete Stroh as part of his role in England, supporting the botanical community. Now, Jim's retiring this December after a huge contribution to supporting that community over 18 years. But we're very glad that he's staying closely involved in our work as county recorder for Mid-Perthshire. With Jim retiring, we've recruited 2 new staff, and these are James Harding Morris, who's going to be our country support manager. And this is a new role that will support and develop BSBI's work across the whole of Britain and Ireland, including aiming to provide more consistent support to our recorders in England and in Wales. And James is a BSBI county recorder himself, and he also brings experience in leading the engagement programme on the Back from the Brink project to BSBI. So we're looking forward to welcoming him. We're also looking forward to welcoming Matt Harding, who's our new Scotland officer, also a Vice County Recorder and an environmental consultant currently with a teaching background. And both are joining at the end of November for a good handover with Jim. We also plan to recruit a data support officer in the spring to work alongside Tom Humphrey, our database officer, to support and train users of our distribution database and to improve support for county recorders in data entry and management. So that's an update against Goal 1. And moving on to our science and data work. So this goal is providing high quality, impartial data and interpretation for research and to help address biodiversity loss and climate change. And we're very excited that this year we have launched a new Botanical Heatmap programme in partnership with Natural England and also with initial work with Forestry Commission and the Woodland Trust. And we've developed a tool that's using our data to ensure that tree planting does not damage wildlife and carbon. And it's based on the coincidence of positive indicators in 10 habitats. And the tool highlights existing areas of wildlife value that should be avoided, for example, in tree planting, but also much wider than this, also areas that should be targeted for practical conservation and action on the ground. So we can use it for both targeting and avoiding in land management decision making. Maps are currently available in England, and we hope to extend this approach to other areas of the UK and in Ireland in future years. And then, of course, an area of huge activity in science and data is the Plant Atlas 2020. And thanks to all the data that you've helped us collect in the years from 2000 to 2019, we are now ready in 2023 in March to be launching the Atlas project. So it covers over 3,500 species, and we'll be publishing a book in association with Princeton University Press, and that comes in 2 volumes. There's so much information, it's 2 whole volumes, and also a website with information on all the different species, the captions, the maps, the trends, phenology information, photos, and conservation status information. So this project, the Atlas project, will be launched, as I mentioned, in March, on the 8th of March 2023 with an online launch, and then through face-to-face launches in the different countries in the weeks following that. And members, if you want to buy the Atlas, can get a pre-publication offer, 50% off the book. So watch out for the flyer in January BSBI news for that. And so what's next after the Atlas, I hear you say? Well, we're digesting the findings of the Atlas, and these will define what we take forward. And we'll be using these to develop our science strategy, which will be looking at priority science projects from 2024 to 2029. So over the next year, we'll be looking at those Atlas findings, and we'll be consulting with you, our members, with our recorders and staff and external partners to define those priorities and for what's next. Moving on to our next goal, disseminating information to drive a passion for plants. And it's been fantastic to be back finally to face-to-face events. It's been wonderful for me personally to attend the annual summer meeting at Malham Tarn in Yorkshire, and also the Scottish Botanist Conference, where I met many members. These are wonderful networking and learning opportunities. And many thanks to all of you who lead and organise so many events around all our different areas. Thanks to those involved in the Aquatic Plant Project in Ireland. The field events have benefited over 100 people this year, and the webinars many, many more, and are really hugely popular on YouTube. We've also got, coming up on Saturday, our British and Irish Botanical Conference, previously known as the annual exhibition meeting at the Natural History Museum in London. If you don't manage to make it to our face-to-face events, there's also the opportunity to catch up on our YouTube channel, where you can see recordings of many of the talks and training sessions. In terms of communications, we're continuing to expand and enhance the way we communicate with our members and partners and the botanical community as a whole. We have monthly e-bulletins to members and supporters. We also have monthly recorders e-newsletters, which you can sign up for on our website, and you can also look at back issues on our website. And we've expanded the members area of our website. There's lots of information available there, so do have a look at, and there'll be much more coming online on that in future as well. We've also expanded the local botany pages. which has much more coverage of local botany activities and contacts for people to find out what's happening in their local area. And then, of course, we're continuing with our very popular printed publications, periodicals and journals. And we've continued with the handbook series with publishing the Alchemilla handbook. And I'm delighted that we have a new handbook editor, Liz Kungu. Liz is very keen to hear from members about where you would like to see the handbooks going. What would you like to see as the next taxa that are covered in the handbook? So do get in touch if you have suggestions. We're also continuing with our very successful online journal, British and Irish Botany, which many thanks to Ian Denham, who's editor-in-chief of that. Ian is looking for a new editor or team to hand over to over the next year or so. So if you're interested, please do suggest people to him or get in touch with him directly, because he'd be delighted to hear from you. So that's an update against our 3 goals, but also we set in our strategy a number of foundations. And these are areas where we want to strengthen the society. And a few updates against some of them here quickly. So on governance, we held our first forum meeting in March, and it brought together 47 of us from across committees, officers and staff to discuss our work, ideas and plans for the year ahead. And we plan to hold these meetings annually. One outcome of this was new awards. And we know that there are many of you who do tremendous unpaid work for the society. And we've launched 2 new awards to recognise those who go the extra mile to inspire and encourage their fellow botanists. So please consider nominating members for those awards. Nominations are open until the 31st of December. We've also added on our members area of the website a route for members to suggest new ideas and feedback. So please do use that or come to me with your ideas and suggestions. On data management, we're continuing to work on our new data entry app. Development was a bit delayed this year by the huge amount of work to be done on the Atlas and completing the Atlas book and website, but it's now back again in progress and ready for trialling in the 2023 field season. And on sustainable business model, we've reviewed progress against our new income diversification strategy. And this shows that the first year and a bit, we've made good progress on membership growth, individual giving and gift aid, and laid the groundwork for longer term returns on grants and legacies. So thank you so much for all your generosity and support as members and donors for our work. And finally, on passionate, skilled people, we're advertising more widely opportunities that members have to volunteer or join a committee within BSBI. And we have vacancies on many of our committees, which work towards supporting our work on our 3 goals and coordinating our work across the 4 countries. All members are really invited to consider joining, so you can find out more information about these different roles on committees and how you can help shape our work and deliver it for us. So this has been a very brief whistle-stop tour of some of our recent work and future plans in the context of our 3-year strategic plan. I want to say a huge thank you to all of our members for all you do to make this possible, and also a big thanks to our partners and funders. Thank you so much.